Hello everyone, how are you? This is Laleh Hancock and I am in Panama City. Just arrived as a quick hop over to Brazil, going to Rio from Mexico City, and I just wanted to just chat with you guys. It's been such an incredible and weird day today. But so much awareness and so much information came from it that I actually wanted to share it with you guys. Hey, Susanna, how you doing? One of the interesting things is I just came, like literally we ended yesterday with the Right Voice for You class. And if you guys have never experienced it or even know anything about it, it's an Access Consciousness specialty class. And it's about having your voice in the world, in your own world, in your relationships, your business, your money, whatever it is, whatever it is. And many times, most people don't even realize they don't have their own voice. They're so used to being the mom or the business person or the sister or the daughter or the brother or the sister, whatever, that they lose their own identity. They lose who they actually are, who their true being is. And what I love is like this class, it doesn't matter what your background is, it doesn't matter how old you are, because kids come to these classes too. There's a self-discovery of really who you are, and it evolves. It's not something that, once you're it. It's just this evolving thing every single day. And watching people blossom, like that's one of my favorite parts of this class. And what I found is like as soon as I got to Mexico, we ended up having a lot of conversations about the Mexican pesos and really taking away some projections, expectations of it, its value, what the US value is to it, and really looking at financial industry and financial world very differently. And then on Saturday, like everything in Mexico is done in cash. So paying for venues, paying for everything, really they would like cash. Of course, restaurants use credit cards and stuff like that, but the expenses that my business normally doesn't even have to think about because it's already in a credit card and then there's a bank account that just automatically pays for it. This one we actually have to be more creative. And pulling money out of an ATM here is not the amount of money that you actually need to pay for venues and stuff like that. So it's been a real interesting exploration around finances the last few days. And then on Saturday, after an amazing, incredible lunch, we went to an ATM machine so I can get some cash out. ATM machine didn't work. There was 4 machines, none of them worked. We went to the next one. The next one was closed. You couldn't even get into the ATMs. The third one we went to had 4 machines. One was broken, and one that I put my card in was missing a component to the ATM. So my card just went in. It's not like one of those that gets stuck and then you can cancel and your card comes back. And it was so funny, like really asking a lot of questions of like, what is this and what can I do with it? And there's a phone number and no one answers. And then they eventually answered and said, hey, you need to come in on Monday morning, 9 a.m. Hey, Claudia. And they'll be able to open it and take care of it for you. And of course, my flight was today at 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m. So I went in, but like it was this whole self-discovery for me, my voice, the voice of my finances, the voice of businesses. Like it's just opened up so many other things to think about that most of us don't think about. And of course, they wanted nothing to do with assisting anything. And the funny part is I had a conversation with a couple of people, including Gary Douglas, and he said, well, that's the Mexican financial industry. That's just how they do business. And I knew there's something else available here. Like when I was there, I just wanted to kill them. I was so upset to how rude they were, how they really had no consideration for the customer. None, zero. And they wanted me to wait a few hours. And I'm like, I can't, I have to go get to my flight. And the director, who's like the branch manager, he didn't even look up. He spent his whole time, even though I was standing at his little doorway, looking at the computer. And each minute with him, I kept getting more and more frustrated. And I know frustration isn't like gonna solve it by getting angry, but it was the pumping of the oil, I don't know, pumping of the energy to get me to step up, to get me to actually look at it as like, what is right about all this? I don't usually lose my credit card in the machine. That's just never happened ever in my life. I've never seen an ATM machine that doesn't have its component anyway. But it was really looking at things from not the fight, but the willingness to have your voice. And I was willing to raise my voice while not judging, while not getting mad, but the willingness to do whatever was required to get them to stand up and actually pay attention. And it was so funny because most of us, we make ourselves wrong when we raise our voice. Because we do. We usually do it from anger, and you feel it in your body, and all the other person wants to do is reject you. But this, she couldn't reject me because I had no anger. I wasn't judging her, but I was willing to be the intensity and the energy that was required. And I think that's the other thing, how often are you willing to be the intensity of who you really are, to change molecules, to change a situation, to make a situation from a problem to a possibility? And then, just really explaining to them, this is not good customer service. And I realized I need to elevate this. This isn't just one of those things, just go call your bank and get a new card, which is really what they were hoping I was going to do. I'm like, I'm going to Brazil. I'm not going to America. And so not having my debit card with me is not, it's possible. It just was not convenient. And so, I really wonder, hey, Celine, I really wonder, you guys, how often are you biting your tongue? Are you not willing to be the intensity? Are you not willing to be the quietness, the silence? There were moments they were looking at me, and all I was doing was looking back. I was just being an interesting point of view the whole way through it. Because sometimes shutting up isn't the best medicine. It actually gets the greatest result. So, are you willing to be what's required, to say what's required, to do what's required? And I got the name of a very high level person inside the bank at the corporate level. And then I called my people who know people. And we're starting a conversation, but once again, it really was about asking questions really what's right about all this. This opened the door to so many things also. I'm not used to borrowing money from anyone, and I had to borrow from the host to pay for the venue up front because the amount of cash, I didn't have that kind of cash in Mexican pesos. So it really is also that self-discovery of the things that, the willingness to ask others for help, the willingness to actually allow others to contribute to you too. And it's been an adventure because, of course, I'm going to Brazil, and Brazil's very similar. They do a lot more in cash than they do credit cards, and it's just been funny to do all of this. And then all these other ideas came about. I was talking to Roberta. Hey, Roberta, if you're watching this later. And we were talking last night, about the things we want to do with businesses in Mexico and how much this showing up also opens up doors of possibilities at banks. This bank, other banks, if we're willing not to do it from the fight to be right, but knowing something greater is possible and being willing to be that agent of change, that's willing to do whatever is required to create that. And sometimes you don't have to say anything to create it. Just by being you will create that. But there's other times it's the willingness not to shy away and shut up when actually your voice needs to be heard. And I'm just I don't know, I was so excited about today. And then with all of this, I realized there's so many possibilities. What if nothing is a problem? Not any of the situations. And you could flip it. Everything that's a problem, ask, how can I use this to my advantage? And that was the other thing I was asking is I've been, you guys know, most of you guys know, I've had 30 years in business, and I'm a consultant. I've worked with corporates, not-for-profits, governments, and things of that sort. And I've been asking, what would it take for me to actually take on more projects like that? I travel a lot, so it's not always easy to do it in one location, but I travel. So why not do it in the countries I'm going to be at? And this opened up that door too, because I'm coming back to Mexico City. I don't know when we're gonna schedule it, but like looking at ways we can be that contribution, that gift to businesses improving their crappy systems, you know? Some will care, some won't, but like the willingness to actually look at it not from your anger, but hey, what are the other possibilities here I haven't even considered? So who knows what will come of all of this? Well, right before my plane was taking off, I talked to my bank and they're mailing me a new card, which was so funny because the flight attendant's like, if you don't get off the phone, I have to tell the captain to take you off the plane. And we'd already gone down the runway, so it was really funny. I was willing to have my voice, even if the flight attendant didn't want me to have my voice. But anyway, that was funny. So like, I really wonder, like, yeah, in a given day, how often do you shut up and not say what you actually can say, which will create greater? How often are you not willing to make the move or take an action that will create greater because you don't want the consequences of what it might be? Like, I just wonder if you guys could just ponder, you know, how often you are willing to have your voice in your life, your relationships, your business, your finances. You know, I just wonder. So, from our beautiful Panama City, which I don't know what it looks like, I just know the airport is pretty small. So if you ever fly here, it's pretty easy. There's a lot of gates, but it's pretty fast and easy to get around. And I look forward to seeing you guys. Hopefully you're gonna come play with me. Actually, I'm gonna be in Brazil. We're going to 3 cities and we're gonna have a bunch of classes online. So if you're not coming to Brazil, we're gonna send you pictures. Wait till you see some of the beautiful places where we're gonna be. Búzios and in Rio, oh my God, the place, the venue is house. It's got it, oh, I'll show you guys the picture in a few days once I'm there. And then Petropolis, where we'll do foundation. So foundation won't be online, but the rest is. So if you want to play with conscious vagina, we're gonna have our first conscious vagina one day. I'm so excited. And that will be live in Rio as well as on Zoom. So thank you all for jumping on and for all of you guys watching this later. And truly, what possibilities are available for you don't think is possible, that if you allowed the possibilities, would actualize a totally different reality. Hey, Susanna, I will. I'm going to add the links in here so you guys can see it, okay? Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.